Come, get cozy now and listen. Let your breathing become slow and soft. Let's take a quiet, gentle journey back in time to a stone house nestled deep in the peaceful Catskill Mountains. The house stood alone under a wide sky, and in this house lived a man named Ralph. Ralph was not a happy man. His heart felt very heavy, like a stone he carried inside his chest. Because his heart was so heavy, his words were often gruff and unhappy. They fell like little pebbles, hard and cold. Living in the house with him was a kind girl. She had come from a land far, far away across the rolling ocean. She worked in the stone house, hoping and dreaming that one day her work would be done and she would be free to find a warmer, sunnier life. But the man's heavy heart made the whole house feel heavy. The air inside was still. The fire in the hearth crackled with a lonely sound. One day, the kind girl could not bear the heaviness any longer. She decided to find a place where the sun felt warmer on her face and the voices were as soft as the rustling leaves. So, as the morning mist was still hugging the mountains, she packed a small bag with a piece of bread and a warm shawl, and she slipped away into the quiet, waiting forest. When Ralph discovered she was gone, his heavy heart sank even deeper. He did not feel sadness, but a storm of unhappy feelings. He chased after her, his footsteps loud on the path. He found her walking slowly by a babbling brook, and in his anger, he did a very unkind thing. He took a long, silken cord, the color of cream. He tied one end to his gentle horse, and the other end he tied very carefully to her wrist. He thought this would surely make her come back home, but the horse was a creature of peace. It did not understand the storm in the man's heart. The loud, unhappy words frightened it. The horse reared up, its eyes wide with confusion, and then it began to run. The man stumbled and fell into a soft patch of moss and ferns. And the kind girl was carried away by the gentle horse, not to a place of hurt, but to a hidden, magical clearing in the forest, a place where the fairies lived. There, the softest moss would be her bed, and the chattering squirrels would bring her berries, and she would be cared for, safe and happy forever. The people in the village heard what had happened. Their own hearts felt heavy with sadness. They knew the man's heart had been too full of stone-like feelings. They gathered and talked in soft, serious voices. They decided he must always remember to be kind. So they gave him a special, important task. They asked him to wear a soft, silken cord around his neck, not to hurt him, but as a gentle reminder. A reminder to always speak with a soft voice, to always think of others, and to keep his heart light. And every year, when the leaves began to turn golden, he would walk to the village and visit the kind judges. He would show them the silken cord, and they would nod gently, seeing that he was remembering to be a better man. The man, Ralph, agreed. He went back to his stone house, but he was different now. The gruff, stormy feelings were gone. He became quiet and thoughtful. He spent his days listening to the wind in the pines and watching the clouds drift by. He was often alone with his thoughts. When children saw him in the village and pointed to the soft cord, asking, "What is that for?" his lips would quiver with feeling. He would remember the kind girl, and without a word, he would turn and walk away back into the quiet, understanding woods. People liked to talk about his house. They said that when the moon was high, you could hear special sounds near his garden. It was not anything scary. It was just the evening wind, singing a sad, gentle song as it drifted through the trees. It was the mother owl calling a soft hoo-hoo to her little ones. It was the red foxes, humming a low, peaceful tune from their dens. The animals were not scolding him, they were keeping him company, their gentle sounds helping his heavy heart to feel lighter, little by little, each day. The years went by, one after another, as quietly as snow falling on a winter night. Ralph grew very, very old. His hair turned as white as the winter snow. His steps became slow and shuffling, but he never, ever took off the silken cord. It was not a chain around his neck. Oh no. It had become a promise in his heart. A promise to remember to be gentle. A promise to remember the kind girl. And when he was 100 years old, he sat in his favorite chair by the window. He looked out at the mountains he loved, took one long deep, peaceful breath, and fell into a final, gentle sleep. And around his neck, he still wore this soft silken cord, quiet reminder for all of us that even the heaviest heart can learn to be soft and kind and gentle. So now, as you lie in your own soft bed, you can let your own heart feel light and happy. Let your breathing be as soft as that silken cord. There is no heaviness here in your room, no storms, only peace. The world outside is quiet, and you are safe and you are loved. Close your eyes now. The night is here, wrapping you in a warm, dark blanket. It is time for rest. Sleep well, little dreamer. Sleep well.